Hey everybody, today we're going to do a little work in my Gourami tank. It's almost getting difficult to even call it a Gourami tank anymore. It just looks like a Gourami jungle. You can't hardly even see into the tank or see any of the fish. So I'm definitely going to have to get in there and remove and trim back some of these plants. It's getting really dark and dimly lit down there on the bottom. You can barely even see any fish. So we're going to get in and we're going to trim back a lot of this floating water Sprite. We're going to get in there and pull a lot of the babies out and get rid of a lot of those roots. All of this stuff here, I know again it's hard to see in the darkness until I get right up on top of it, but you can see all of these roots and all of the dense thicket of water Sprite I've got in here. This is blocking a ton of light, and it's going, 2/3 of the way across the tank. If we look in from the top here, you can see my temple plant is just growing right up and out of the water. We've got some of the red tiger lotus is actually beginning to come up and out of the water. I have right here, you can see these runners. I've got a couple of them shooting up towards the top. They need to come out, and probably a few of these larger leaves here on the surface. That'll let a little more light in. This is the temple plant here that's growing out of control, so I'm probably going to cut that about here. I can use this top part to replant, in another tank, or in this one I can actually just bring it down in here and sort of root it in the substrate and begin a second plant growing right next to it. So that's all going to come out. I will probably remove some of this Java. It's just getting so thick in there, and I've got so much of it, you can hardly even see into the bottom of the tank anymore. But the real thing on this side is going to be getting in there and trimming back a lot of this water Sprite. You can see it's just so thick in there that no light at all gets through there. So I'm still getting all that bizarre growth. I do have a viewer that said that they've got that same sort of odd growth on theirs, and their root system is not being chewed on by their fish. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. And if you don't follow along with my videos, I thought for a while maybe that I had some growth dysfunction because of nutrient deficiency, and I was chalking that up to the fact that the gouramis so readily and regularly eat the root systems off these plants that it could possibly be preventing them from getting the nutrition they need, and that might be it. So I don't know if that's true or not. Again, according to my viewer, that is not the case, so I don't know. But here's your before look. We're not really going to do a lot of in between, so have a good look at it now, and then we will look at the after. And there's your after. So it really made a significant difference on the amount of lighting. The water Sprite was way overgrown. I pulled so much of it out of there. Even some of the stalks on the mother plant in there were sort of yellowing and dying off. So in addition to all those babies I pulled out of there, I also actually removed a little bit of the mother plant as well. So that really opened up the left side. And then, of course, over here on the right side, I got in there and removed a bunch of the red tiger lotus leaves. And then, of course, I cut the top of that temple plant off, as I said I was going to. And I also trimmed back this Java fern that's growing up here. I just simply removed a few of the fronds that were larger and kind of blocking a lot of the light. But I didn't cut too much back off of that one. So it really opens the tank up again. You can see some color on the fish. You can see all the way down to the bottom. I'd almost forgotten how bright and open this tank used to be once upon a time. Now, when I got to this part over here, I cut the Java fern way back. I took a big chunk of that and I moved it over into my gudgeon and T-bar tank. I did a little water change on that tank today, and I was able to move a lot of that Java fern over there. But it was so rooted in and attached to the rocks and everything that as I started pulling it apart, I started pulling the whole rock structure down. I had to actually get in there with two hands and hold the rocks in place while I pulled the Java out. And now I'm not talking about just grabbing chunks of it and trying to rip it out. I actually went in there with my scissors and I cut the rhizome into sections so that I could then just remove the sections. And it was so well rooted in there that as I started pulling originally, the rocks and everything started coming with it. So I had to hold the rocks in place and pull the roots off of the rocks and gently tease it out of there. I was then able to cut it into smaller pieces, and we put it over in the gudgeon and T-bar tank and changed the look of that tank a little bit, and I did shoot a video of that. So thanks for watching this one. Make sure you're subscribed. That's about all I want to show you on this, is a simple before and after. Don't forget, this is my Gourami tank. Got lots of videos coming up and working on a lot of stuff, so you don't want to miss any of it. Thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you real soon in the next one.